Well, a new young recruit has joined the team here at the Falkirk Stadium. First and foremost, Sammy, how does it feel to be back?
It feels a bit weird. A lot of what's happened has happened pretty quickly, although there had been discussions before about the possibility of returning in some capacity at Lewis. But I'm thrilled, I'm excited. It's amazing, it really is. Although I didn't play here at the Falkirk Stadium, played at the Old Brockville, as everyone knows. But it's great. It's great to, after all these years, to be asked and welcomed back into the football environment again.
Did you ever think, after all these years away from the club, that you'd ever find yourself back working for it?
Probably not. I don't think so, because I was 24 years in the social work, the residential social work, looking after kids in care, and it became my life, became my career. I've kept in touch with the club over the years. I'm a fan. I wouldn't travel 120 mile from Ardrossan and back if I didn't still have massive feelings for the club. So it was. I'm not going to say it was an easy decision to come back. Absolutely not. 24 years as a career and what I was doing, it was a big decision. My issue was, if I didn't do it, would I regret it? And that's basically what all my family and all my friends were saying. Don't have regrets. So my work were great about it. So it was, at the end of it, was an easy decision.
And that's something I wanted to kind of touch on. So I'm glad you brought it up, because, you did have a really secure and stable job. And, it's quite a brave decision then to jump into something that football can be a bit less certain.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm pretty easy about asking certain questions with people. I'm no shy in that respect. So I had a long chat with my work. So if this will work out, I'll make it work. But if there was something went wrong, I would hope it's nothing to do with COVID again. But if something went really wrong, then I would be welcomed back to the job I was in, which also made it a bit easier to make the decision as well. But I'm not going to look at negatives and the possibility of me going back to that. I want to be here.
So how does this stack up against previous transfers in your career?
I didn't get a signing on fee for this one. I'll maybe need to speak to Gary.
That's not what I heard, Sammy.
Right, okay, well, whatever you heard is definitely not true. It's totally different. But discussions-wise and signing a contract-wise and things like that, absolutely. I mean, there was negotiations had to be done because it was a big move. But it was the right thing for me, the right thing for my family.
Alex Totten was obviously a kind of well-known face here at the Falkirk Stadium. He has a huge connection with the club over the years and in various different roles. How does it feel knowing that you have to kind of fill his shoes? What's your feelings about that?
Big shoes to fill, absolutely. He's done massive amount of stuff for the club over the years. He's again another person who has been really good with myself and my family when we've came through, my friends when we've came through. And always made us feel welcome. He's on the blower quite a lot about golf days, society days, whatever. So he's kept in touch over the years as well. And I wasn't one of Alex's boys, I didn't play for Alec. But he'll be a massive miss. But I can't come thinking I can replace that. I need to do what I'm asked to do and what I need to do, and it's going to be a learning curve for me. I mean, I'm starting here as a YTS. This is a training scheme for me to start with. I've got to look at it that I build relationships really quickly. I think I'm good at communicating. So I'm hoping that the skills set that I've got there now that I've built up over the 24 years in childcare and who I've dealt with in that are going to help with this.
Was it a surprise when obviously yourself and your other half were back here at the stadium to do bits for Falkirk TV and other things, and then suddenly you're taken into a room and they say, how would you feel about coming back permanently?
I think the fans have had a massive input in that. Obviously social media being as big as it is today, I think the reaction to coming through and doing a bit of commentary, doing a wee bit of PR up the stair and things like that on a Saturday, I think it's been so welcomed. It's been the positivity that's come out of it has been unbelievable. Now, if the club have made a decision solely or based on that, then that's good for me. You know, if there's been issues with how things have panned out on the park last year and how unfortunate everything was at the end up there, and if it's good for me to be here to kind of build a bond a wee bit again, let's face it, that's partly what I would like to do. And I'm sure the club will be looking at it that kind of way as well. 'Cause at the end of the day, they're no daft, and I totally understand why they would want to use me, and I'm good with that.
And then that's something you kind of mentioned a couple of times there, was this relationship that you do have with the fans. They do engage with you massively because you're still held in such high regard. How does that feel that, respectfully, especially for some of our younger fans who might be watching this, they maybe didn't see you play but still see you, as you say, on the club forums and all the rest of it?
Yeah. To be held in this regard from one really good season. I was here for 6.5 years, Lewis, playing, and I think I gave my all the whole time I was available to play. I think remembering the team that won the league, I think that should be remembered. I get carried along in that just the same as the fans did. I mean, that season when the fans were turning out in their numbers, and I spoke to somebody about that yesterday, a fan who was doing work at the ground, I was carried along in that as well, as were every single member of that team, the squad in fact, because it was a small squad. So I was part of what the fans were feeling, because it didn't feel as though it was me that was out in that park playing. That was the strangest thing in certain games especially. I'm delighted that the youngsters, if they're going to hear anything about me now because I'm in this role, that's great. But to be fair, businesses in this local area are going to be run by guys that were coming to watch then and probably were aged to watch me playing as well. So I'm hoping that's something that I can utilise as well.
You've faced a lot of challenges over your career. How do you think you'll adapt to this one? Because this, as you said earlier on, it's a very different environment for you now, isn't it?
It's new. I think I learn quickly. I think that will help. There's a great team about here. There's a lot of positive noises coming out of the club as well. I want to be part of that, but I have to learn, and I will use anyone that I can in order to do the job they want me to do properly. The long chat with Kieran yesterday, I'm so disappointed that he's moved on. I thought I was going to be working with Kieran. Sharon, unfortunately, this week is off on holiday, swanning about somewhere, and I probably needed her here, and she recognised that more than I did, that she would have liked to have been here. So probably come this Monday I'll start the job properly. I've been getting to meet people this week, a lot of the guys that are involved behind the scenes who do a fantastic job. Believe it or not, I hadn't really come across Gary Holt before, really. We knew of each other, which is great. Paul Sheeran, I think I played against Paul later in my career, fairly early in his. And sometimes you just know by a handshake with people how things are going to be. And I was good with that.
And again, I guess part of meeting the new faces of the kind of current regime behind the scenes and all the rest of it is all part of building these relationships that you're talking about, as well with the kind of wider community in the commercial world. Yeah,
well, the wider community, the commercial aspect of it will come. I can't just dive into something that I don't know that much about. I'm happy to meet people, happy to speak to people, but there's a job to be done, and I need to do it. But the guys that are working behind the scenes, part of the board, the directors, volunteers, everyone, they've been absolutely fabulous to me since I came in on Monday.
What are you looking forward to the most about this new role, Sammy?
I was getting promotion. I mean, my job, I know what my job entails. I think I know part of what it entails, but everything's about what happens out in the park. It really, really is. I'll do my best to do what's asked of me, in that respect, in the sales respect, or whatever it is, of bringing the money in. But it needs to happen out there, and I'm sure that the director of football and the manager knows exactly that.
And just on that point, numerous fans have been asking on various social media platforms the last week or two, and so just to confirm this one, you'll do anything that's asked of you, and I believe the ask from quite a few fans is, do the boots still fit?
The boots still fit, the kit still fits.
Okay.
I'm pretty much the same as it was, however the colour of the boots, it might not look good, so I might have to get an up-to-date pair of boots if there's going to be a chance of me getting on for the last 10 minutes of any game.
So promotion, the obvious aim, and of course, as you say, it's a different role to what you're used to, but if you could look ahead into the future, Sammy, and in this new job that you're just kind of starting here in your first week, where would you see yourself being, or how would you be doing like a year down the line, say?
I probably didn't walk out in the job I had. I left in brilliant circumstances, but I've left it hoping that this is the rest of my working life. There's no point in coming in here and thinking this is a year's job or a 2 years job. I've left security to do this, and I'll give it my utmost, I really will, but I'm not intending going anywhere else after this.
And would it be fair to say then, Sammy, that from everything you've said today, that really the kind of driving force behind it all is simply just your own connection with the club?
It's Falkirk Football Club. That's exactly what it is, yeah, absolutely. It could easily have been for me that if I was so inclined to go and watch Kilmarnock playing or Ayr United playing, two teams that I played for, I could be travelling 13 mile, 18 mile down the road or up the road and doing possibly a similar type of thing that I'm coming in here to do at the clubs. Not even an option, not for me. And again, it's going to be a fair bit of travelling, and I hope the club come and go with me a wee bit in that one. I've never been as tired all my life with the driving already this week, but this is where I want to be. And regardless, I mean, no way I'll be up sticks and moving house or anything like that. Me and Gail are absolutely settled where we are. She is delighted that I'm here. She was a major driving force behind me coming here as well.
And just finally, Sammy, if we can, if you had a message for the fans who are watching this, what would you say to them as you start off in your new career?
Get behind everyone. I mean, I'm starting to realise already, just coming in for Monday, that there is a lot more than just 11 players running out in the park on a Saturday. And there's a lot more goes on behind the scenes in order for that to happen. I hope we get through the COVID situation as well. I know there's going to be a limit on the amount of fans that are going to be back for several games, but to stick with everything now, there's a lot of change, but to embrace it when you come back and enjoy being back, and absolutely get behind the club the way I know they absolutely can, and the way I know they want to. There's been a lot of obstacles in the way the last few years. It's been quite difficult, and I think it being that difficult has been one of the reasons that I've wanted to come back as well.
Well, Sammy, it is great to see you back. We wish you all the best in the new role, and as always, thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, Lewis.